Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Duncan. I'm an American who's been in Russia for a little over 2 weeks now. While I'm still here in that early stage and while the memories are still there, I want to share with you guys the things that were shocking to me, the things that, just the things that I noticed that are maybe much different from America, where I'm from, or just things that in general that are shocking that I've kind of noticed. So we're going to get into that here. And by the way, also, don't forget, please check out my Twitch channel. It's a place where I walk around, do IRL streams with my camera, and you can see the reactions of Russians and they see me. And also I study Russian there, so make sure you to check that out. But guys, let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing, and this was the real thing that kind of hit me, is as I'm leaving the airport. So once you're in the car and you're leaving that Moscow airport, of course, it's in a very busy part of Moscow. As you're driving around or being driven around, you are going to notice a big difference in the behavior of cars as compared to what you might be used to in America. So I'll give an example. Often on a highway in America, let's say you've got two cars, this car wants to get into the lane, you'll have this. Sir, may I get into your lane, please, sir? Would that be okay? Would that be okay? And they'll kind of linger and like, okay, all right, here I go. I'm going, all right, thank you. And you'll have a little courtesy wave. That's not the case here in Russia, or I guess in Moscow in this case. There is a constant state of merging and wedging into each other's lanes, and there's no real orders to it. It's just like, well, I hope this works. All right, fuck you. And just kind of, and there's a constant merging of this lane into this lane, and you might be kind of in shock by it when you first get here. I was, but I think that if when it does come time that I rent a car here, I think I'd get used to it within a week or maybe even shorter. But man, that is something that was the first thing. I'm like, well, this is different. So yeah, Moscow traffic or maybe Russian driving behavior in general is different from the US. All right, for our next thing, and maybe this is something that you all did not know about, because I didn't know about it for a long time before I came here until my Russian friends had told me, is that you can't drink the tap water in Russia. I mean, maybe in some places, in very specific places, it might be okay and safe, but in general, it's a bad idea to drink the tap water here. A lot of people just bottled water. Maybe you have it shipped to your house, or you'll find a place where it's filtered or something like that. But don't drink the tap water here. Now, me, being the curious and adventurous person I am, I wanted to try it. Now, I didn't try it straight from the tap, but I brought a Life Straw filtered canteen with me. So it's got a special filter that, let's say I'm out in the Russian woods and I need to drink from a river or a creek or something. This will make it safe for me to drink. But it did not make it safe to drink from the Russian tap water. It actually made me a little bit sick, and I'll describe what it felt like. I felt like generally a little bit, just unwell, but it kind of feels like, imagine your sinus cavity here. It feels like you just have like sediment or like minerals or something just kind of resting in the bottom part of your sinus cavity. Like you have like some sort of sediment in there. And it's just a very just uneasy, unwell feeling. You're not going to be throwing up, I don't think, but it's just not a good feeling. So guys, to sum up, don't drink from the tap water in Russia. It's a bad idea. All right, next up. One thing I've noticed about Russians, they aren't used to people speaking loudly. And I've had multiple girls that I've hung out with say like, oh my God, like you talk so loud. And I'm like, what? Like this is a normal volume to discuss with someone. But I just think this might be either a cultural thing or more just the environment of maybe you grow up in. Like, let's say you grow up in one of those giant, Soviet apartment buildings with paper thin walls. Everything you say, any noise is being heard by all the, hundreds of people around you. So maybe that sort of bred some sort of environment to where people talk more quietly. And I'm actually going to get into that more later, but I'll talk about the incidents that I had because they're kind of hilarious. So the first incident that I had that elicited a reaction from other Russians coming from the volume of my voice is when I was riding, and now this is on like a highway, mind you, on a Moscow highway. I'm just talking with the girl is driving and I'm in the passenger seat. We're talking, joking, whatever. And I say something with a little bit of volume. I'm like, wait, why did you do that? Like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, raise my voice a little bit. And the car that was riding beside us, there was a girl in the front seat over there. And she looked at us like this. And she rolled up her window, so she looked over in like disgust, like, because I had spoken too loud or something like that, because I was too loud and boisterous. And this is on the fucking highway, And dude, I don't know, for some reason that was so hilarious to me. Just this girl like in disgust, like, just rolling up her window, like so loud, such a loud person. And then the second incident was I was at an after party after the big Streamfest event that happened here. As I said before, I'm a streamer on Twitch. Don't forget to check out my page. But so there was a big after party at this club. So you got the loud music, smoke machines, all that shit. Just a typical club. Very, very fucking loud. And I went up to the bartender and I wanted to order my drinks. I'm like, all right, can I get a bourbon, please? A bourbon. And because you have to for the guy to hear you. But there was another guy standing here at the bar. And this motherfucker didn't even have the respect to make eye contact with me. I'll just show you what he did. So he was turned away from me like this. I'm kind of standing behind. So I'll show him. He did this right here. Dude, I was so upset, dude. I just stared daggers at the back of his head like, you motherfucker. Like, what the fuck, dude? But anyways, he was like, what a loud, what a loud person. This is some sort of moron. Must be raising his voice in such an environment of... I don't know, dude. That was, so that's the two incidents I had where I got a reaction from a Russian for speaking too loud. And yeah, I want to transition this into another subject of communicating with Russians and the reaction and, what it's like to speak with Russians. So this will be our next one here. And so one thing that is quite a shock and, something that I don't think you can be ready for until you're here in Russia to experience it. I mean, a lot of is the reactions and just how it is to communicate with people in person. And one of the things I noticed while we're talking about the subject of volume is there's multiple times that I've gone to check into a hotel or that I've talked with, a clerk at a store or something, where it'll be, for example, a woman, and she'll speak so fucking quiet that there's like no chance that I can hear or understand what she's saying. So I'll give an example. So, all right, so let's imagine together that I'm coming to the hotel and I'd like to rent a room. So here we go. Здравствуйте. Я хочу номер, один человек. Пожалуйста, самый дешевый номер, пожалуйста. Что? 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 But anyways, you get the point. And also, on the subject of the reaction of Russians and trying to communicate. Now, as I said, I studied Russian for 17 months before I came here. And I had an idea in my head of, what it would be like. Russians tend to be more, not like the typical American. But I gotta be honest, and maybe you're not, a sensitive boy like myself, but the first couple days were actually very difficult to get used to. I mean, I knew about the stereotype about Russians being kind of cut off and cold and don't have that sort of stereotypical American greeting of like, "Hey, buddy, oh, nice to meet you. Oh, wow. So how long you been in this neighborhood? Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. Oh, this weather? Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna rain on Saturday. I hope you got your golfing in last weekend." Like, I'm not against that. I like that shit. I like having a warm, kind of first impression with people. To me, it's kind of important to have like a good, first impression with people. But in Russia, sometimes it's just fucking cold or just completely like cut off. Or you might even get a look of almost mild disgust of like, I don't even want to deal with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or it could just be completely cold, just a completely cold and like, "Здравствуйте, меня зовут Duncan, приятно познакомиться, nice to meet you," and just like, "Здравствуйте." And I gotta be honest, for that first couple days, it kind of, it was hard for me to get used to. Just try to get yourself ready emotionally for the first couple days of meeting people and the reactions being different to the typical American, meeting a person for the first time. All right, next up. And this is the one that was probably the most shocking for me, the one that shocked me right to my American core. It was